The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Too much going on. We're killing trivia today, gang. We'll do it next week. Maybe even later, like Friday. Maybe we'll have some fun Friday with trivia. But yeah, obviously, the big news here, the Jalen Ramsey, situation, for a better word, is come to a conclusion. They deal him to the Rams. And, Hick, as we sit here now and look back on Jalen here long enough to be placed where in the Jag list? If the 25 are being voted on now and then he were gone, where do you think?
Well, he's a top 10 player in Jags history for sure in his time, but
probably not accomplished enough yet.
It depends on how much he played here. 3 years? So just over 3 years. So in that respect, he didn't do enough. But yeah, he was great. I mean, again, I'm never going to deny what a great player he was. Jalen Ramsey was a great football player. Is a great football player, and will continue to be a great football player, I suspect. I don't think he's the best corner in the NFL. It's like. We in the media do this. Here's Jalen Ramsey, who hasn't played in 3 weeks, and now all of a sudden, because he said so, he's the best corner in the NFL. I mean, I've read Stephon Gilmore's the best corner in the NFL. The kid who came in here this weekend is pretty good cornerback as well, Lattimore, with the New Orleans Saints. So Jalen Ramsey, I think, was 19 and 32 while he was here with the Jaguars. I think he had 9 interceptions in his 3 years. So, great player. The very best, I don't know. That remains
the best Jag? Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
No, not.
You mean corner in the league?
Yeah. So he's like I said. The Jags get 2 first-round picks, and look, man, it is frustrating as a Jaguar fan. You lose another good player, and you add 2 first-round picks. Jags aren't throwing in the towel on the season, but we're 2-4 through 6 games. So the reality of the situation is, how good is this team going to be? The 2019 edition of the Jaguars. Think about this: the plan certainly included Nick Foles and Jalen Ramsey back in August. And everything was fine, and that's what we were going to find out is how good this football team could be with Nick Foles and Jalen Ramsey. Well, now we have Gardner Minshew, who's been really good until Sunday in relief, and no Jalen Ramsey, but 2 first-round picks, which are great, but those first-round picks ain't helping you win.
Something else, too.
Sunday.
There's something else you also have now that you weren't going to have, $100 million salary that you can spend.
Yeah.
Which would have gone to Jalen. Now it would have been well spent. He's great. What concerns me about paying cornerbacks, never mind the theatrics that went on. That's, to me, what was so distasteful. If you have a contract issue, there's like a way in the NFL to go about it. You state, I have a contract issue, like Melvin Gordon or Le'Veon Bell or Ezekiel Elliott. You hold out. You don't make up all these other distractions to I don't know how it suits you, but if Jalen wants to hold out for more money, then do it that way. Don't quit on your team and all of the other things that went on here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the Rams expect him to pass a physical and play on Sunday, which, so hallelujah, he is the back issue cleared up quickly.
Right. Well, he faked that the whole way, obviously.
3 games. So, yeah. That alone is, that's amazing to me that people excuse that. Like, that was okay. It certainly wasn't okay. And to those guys in the locker room, I can't expect it was okay either.
Like I said, I'm as a Jaguar fan, I'm happy that we'll have 53 guys that want to play for the Jaguars going to Cincinnati this weekend. Mm-hmm. Not one who's only about him. And in team sports, you can't be that way.
Yeah.
So it does. I mean, you can have personality and you can brag. There's a line. Jalen goes way over the line. Mm-hmm. He makes a team sport about him. If you want it to be all about you, then you need to swim or play golf or tennis or something where there is no accountability with anybody else on your team. But I will say this notion that Jalen leaves here mistake-free was never anything but a lockdown, shutdown. I mean, he's been here 3 years, he's got 9 picks. It's not like he's...
No, he had some bad games. He didn't play particularly well against Kansas City. Now, I'm sure Jalen would blame the scheme on that and not himself. He had a game against the Colts here last year where he was not here, but the one up there where the Colts beat the Jags 29-26, I believe, where he wasn't very good either. So there were some games overall, though. Like I said, I'm not going to argue his ability. He's a great football player. He's a Pro Bowler. He's an All-Pro. I mean, he should be every year. He was better in 2017 than he was in 2018. I'd maintain that all along. And we're 6 games into 2019, and it's about a wash. We'll see what he's able to do out there in Los Angeles to help the Rams.
There's also
are suddenly struggling.
There could be a philosophical, financial question that you ask yourself, too, when it comes to investing $100 million in a player. I mean, I would maintain that the cornerback might be the only position in football that you can minimize as effectively as you can any other. And at the end of the day, I can, every game if I want to, send my third receiver out wide, and Jalen can play patty cake with him for 60 minutes, and I'll play 10-on-10 football, and he won't have a thing to do with the football game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other position you can do that you can render completely invisible. And the response to that by a team would be play zone. All right, go tell Jalen he's playing zone. Let me know how that works out for you.
Yeah.
Didn't work out well here.
Yeah.
So.
So the Rams play the Falcons in Atlanta on
Go Birds
on Sunday. So we'll see how Julio can do with Jalen Ramsey covering him, which is what I would suspect would happen. The Rams lost both corners yesterday, traded one. The other one went on injured reserve. But the Rams' biggest issue, the Los Angeles Rams with the wonder kid Sean McVay threw for 78 yards on Sunday against the suddenly hot 49ers. So if you look at the schedule, and you should, because as a Jag fan, now you want the Rams to lose, not because Jalen's there, but because you have their first pick. You may want them to lose because Jalen's there too.
Double your pleasure, gang.
Yeah.
I'd say root for both.
Yeah, they've lost 3 in a row at Atlanta, but then they have the Bengals and the Steelers. So if we play the win-loss game here, they could win 3 in a row real easy. Bears and Ravens, at Arizona is a win. Seattle, tough game. Dallas, tough game. San Francisco, tough game.
They could go 8-8, bro, with
Yeah.
that schedule.
Yeah.
They go 8-8, you're getting the 15th, 16th pick in the draft, most likely.
Right. So that wouldn't be bad if the Jags could pull that off, and hopefully the Jags will pick, 32nd. Hopefully. He says with a sarcastic.
I think what
wink,
many
wink,
people
nod,
are
nod.
kind of rooting for as well is. Oh, by the way, what did you say Ramsey said about Jared Goff in his quarterback critique, since he knows everything more than anyone else ever?
Yeah, let me.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
because what I would really like, what I would really like to see is for Jared Goff to suffer an injury and Blake Bortles to quarterback.
Yeah.
And Jalen and Blake can be, simpatico teammates again. Jalen went out of his way to condemn and criticize Blake when they were here. Mm-hmm. Liking posts by other players that kill him. He's so immature with these little social media likes and dislikes. What a joke.
Yeah.
Just I also get lost in this. I get lost in the part of the fan base.
I get lost in love.
Well, good.
And I don't know why.
I get lost in the part of the fan base that is so sure now that, well, now you're going to be 5-11 every year. Like, what were they with Jalen Ramsey, Dan?
Yeah.
What were they, 19-31 and then 0-2 this year? 19-33? Or is it 19-31 total?
I think they were 19-31.
Yeah, 19-31. So, again, what exactly are we, wondering?
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll continue with our conversations and hit on a couple other things here this morning. But obviously, the top news is the Jalen Ramsey trade and how
the
it
Nats are
affects
going to the
Jaguars.
World Series.
Yeah, they are, and they so easily as well. So we've got that. We've got the college football talk, and a lot of Jag talk. Looking now at Cincinnati, it'll be an interesting day in the locker room as the players will say all the right things, and they will miss Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey wasn't hated in the locker room. This episode has created tension, so we'll get into some of that as well here on a CPR Contracting Wednesday. They restore and protect concrete structures. Listen, all of you PEs out there, and all you property managers, subcontractors, contracting companies, CPR Contracts is the name you need to know. Go to cprcontracting.com. Caller number 2.
Caller number 2.
For 2.0.
2.0 is going to rock, guys. Call number 2 at 641-1010. Going to take home a floral arrangement from our friends at Kuhn Flowers and a pair of tickets to Welcome to Rockville coming up May 8th through 10th in Daytona. Headline 2 nights by Metallica. Call number 2 right now at 641-1010.